Hello. I've just enjoyed reading your thoughts on what you hope to learn from this course. And the good news is that I think you're going to learn everything that you hope to learn. There is a focus on differentiation in this course, and you'll see that if you haven't already um, been diving into week two. The focus is preparing for differentiation. And what so many people think of when they think about differentiating for students is the product. I think there are lots of examples of, well, we're all going to read the same book, we're all going to read it the same way, but kids can choose their from three different, final products. So I'm differentiating. It's so much more than that, and you will see it's differentiating objectives, having different objectives for students, differentiating the process by which they move through things, they learn their material, the content, the resources, the environment. There are so many different ways that you can differentiate for students of different abilities. And several of you expressed concern or just the desire to learn more about instructional methods and strategies for very young students. Several of you teach pre-K, kindergarten, or first grade. So, and you have articulated that your students aren't even going to be identified while you have them. It doesn't mean they're not gifted or have the potential to be identified as gifted. So let's treat them as if they are gifted. Go with your gut. And what can you do to challenge them, keep them engaged? Several of you wrote about I've got this student, I'm already accelerating him. He's already in math 2 grades above level. Am I going to be able to keep challenging him? What do I do if he still wants more? I think you'll get that from this course. What about my kids? I differentiate, I try to do things for them, but then they just rush through it. They don't even give their best work. How do I get them to slow down and give their best work? And I think that comes from and I'm not saying it's easy. I struggle with it myself all the time. But having something that's really meaningful for the students, they really feel passionate about, they want to do it well. That's the trick. I mean, it takes time and energy on our part to set that up. But when we do it, I think we know we get more from our kids. It's just like us. If we see the purpose, if we feel passionate about it, we're going to give it our all. And Kelly asked a great question. She said, I wonder what goes on in the gifted resource classroom. I've got kids that go, what are they doing in there? And if it's so great that they need to be pulled out to go there, how about I learn the secrets and I'll do it in the classroom? That's what you're going to get from this course. So you're going to learn about all those things. You have great questions, and you're going to learn how to better serve gifted students or potentially gifted students in the classroom. And I think along the way, you're going to pick up some strategies that you can use with kids who are not gifted, who they're just maybe average or below average. But some great strategies, as Joseph Renzulli would say, a lot of the gifted things that we do in gifted education are good for all kids. GFAC is his acronym. So, okay, some nuts and bolts. This week, one of the things that you're going to be asked to do is request your special program or competition that you would like to research and summarize. And so I think Dr. Crowder and I were tweaking some things with the course yesterday, and I may have inadvertently messed up the place where you can post your request. I think I've fixed that now. Thank you to those of you that let me know. What happens with these Piedmont courses is Dr. Crowder has the template. She does her course, and then she copies over things when she creates other sections for other instructors to teach. And sometimes in that process, links don't work right, or I think that things haven't transferred over. So I will continue to count on you to let me know if something's not working. Please let me know as soon as you notice it. I can't go in as a student and see exactly how you're seeing it. and that's a problem. Piedmont is trying to work on that. I think we're going to find some bugs along the way. So thank you for your patience and letting me know, because sometimes I can't tell. It looks okay on my end and it works for me, but it's not working for you. Okay, so it should be open, ready to go for you to request your program or competition. Some of these, for example, those of you that are working with young kids, First Lego League Robotics, you might think, oh, that's for older kids, but they actually do have a component for K through 2. It's not pre-K, but you might look at that and think about, gosh, I could modify that for pre-K or kindergarten. You wouldn't have to compete, but you could use some of the ideas, in your classroom. So some of the competitions that are there, they might say grades 2 through 6 or 4 through 8 or whatever. But if you're interested in the content area, Legos, for example, check through it and see if there's something, because you might find, oh gosh, well, actually, it is for younger kids. How about that? It's just that they don't go to the competition, for example. So if you have any specific questions for me about competitions for younger kids, things that you're interested in, I may know of some because I've taught all different grade levels and like looking around to see what's out there. So let me know if you'd like me to help guide you in that. So you want to request that, and then I will assign, Dr. Crowder set up a page for every student. Right now they just say like page 1, page 2, all the way to page 11 or 12. But I will be changing the name. Instead of page 1, it will, for example, say future problem solving. And I'll tell you who's been assigned that competition. Future problem solving, by the way, is one of my favorites. And for those of you that teach grades 4 through 8, it's awesome. And but if you teach younger grades, they have a component that kind of leads up to the competitive nature of future problem solving. Anyway, I am a future problem solving coach right now. I'm coaching 3 teams, and it's if you have interdisciplinary social studies, kind of global issues, interests, it's a great one. The other thing I hope that you will go ahead and do is your field experience assignments. As I told you in my last video, they will be involve you looking in Atlas at different cases where teachers are teaching a lesson and they've given you a lead-in about what they're going to be doing, the nature of their class, how it's, SES, different learning needs and learning disabilities and gifted students and all of that. And you'll be evaluating this. I want to make sure you can get into Atlas. So if you would, you can access the Atlas modules from our homepage. Under modules, Dr. Crowder set up a whole section of Atlas cases. That's easy. Or from week 2, we've got a link to the Atlas cases. Either way, click on just any lesson and see if you can get in. What's supposed to happen is that you click on the link. Let's say you want case 491. You're supposed to be able to click on that and it takes you right to 491. It's not working for me that way, but it's not that hard. If I know I want case 491, I click on it, and then what's going to come is I'm going to be linked to a menu of like all the courses again, and I just have to, in the search bar, put 491, and it brings me to the case that I want to look at. But just make sure you can get that. What I don't know is so Dr. Crowder loaded those of you that weren't already in Atlas, she loaded you in. So you should be good, but you might have gotten an email inviting you to accept Atlas. If you can't get in right now, if you would check your email and see if you got such an email, and if you did, click accept or okay or whatever. That might be the fix. But we want to make sure this week that everybody can get into Atlas, that you can see those cases. Even though you don't have to do it yet, the assignment, just make sure you can get in, please. And let me know if you cannot. so that we won't have that issue going forward. And I think that's all I really needed to tell you today. So I hope you're having a wonderful long weekend and staying warm. It was a really big bummer yesterday that the Saints did not win, and my husband is in a major funk. I think the whole city is. It's kind of good we didn't have to go to work today. We could just all be kind of recuperating. We feel like the Rams, wasn't the Rams' fault, it was the ref's fault that it was a bad call, but whatever. Anyway, big bummer for our town. I hope that the mood is better in the place in Georgia where you are right now, and that you will have a great week. I will be spending the rest of the day learning more about current electricity and planning a major project for my students. I don't know if you've ever seen the video Kane's Arcade. If you haven't, spend a couple minutes to look at it. It's not new, but it was new to me a few months ago. So cute, and my kids are going to be designing and engineering their own cardboard arcade games, but they have to wire them. The game has to light up or bell sounds or something, and I got to figure out how to do it and how to. I've got to create my rubric, and I've got to figure out how I can do 200 different games and where they're going to put them as they start them. That's my challenge today. I hope that you have a great rest of the weekend and a great week, and I will talk to you soon.